everybody, welcome to another epic interview, and I am going to be interviewing the gorgeous, lovely lady you see on the screen beside me. But if you're looking on your screen, it might be on the other side, who knows, but who really cares? So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to interview this gorgeous lady about silent counselling. She was one of the very, very first people to enroll on that course, the first time I ever did it, and it was so much fun. So introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do, and then we're going to dive in deeper.
Awesome. Hi everybody, I am Lisa Preston and my business is Step by Step Wellbeing. So I am a mental health coach and a wellbeing therapist, and I'm multi-passionate. I want to help children understand their mental health, their emotions and their wellbeing, but I also feel really passionate about helping women, mothers, people that have had to kind of change up their careers and their paths, kind of reconnect with themselves if they've got to a point where they feel lost.
So it's kind of like family therapist, isn't it, really? Keeps them...
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
Family therapist. I like that. Because at the end of the day, you can have many different niches, as my mentor, Melanie Ann Lair says. If you want to have multiple niches, have multiple niches. You do whatever feels right. But I like that. You're a family therapist.
Absolutely, yeah, because it all starts within the family home, doesn't it? And it starts with you. Absolutely.
I love that, Lisa. I feel like you just had a bit of a little aha moment there.
Absolutely.
Aha moment. Okay, so tell everyone, because I don't even remember, but I remember when you enrolled. Why did you want to do silent counselling? Why did you want to do it? Because you was, hold on a second, sorry. Yeah. You was already doing a lot of things, like your psychology program. Is that right? Yeah. You're doing psychology. This girl is like a student protege at the moment, and silent counselling came up. Why did you want to do it?
So I think I was just, obviously we connected, didn't we, on social media and everything, and I was watching everything that you were doing, and I've done elements of energy work before, but the way my mind works is I need, for energy work, I need a practical backing behind it. I like the science, I like the practical. So I'm a trained reflexologist as well, and so I've worked with the meridians in the body before from the reflexology point of view. And when you described what silent counselling was and the meridians was in that explanation, it really just like, okay, I understand that and it makes sense to me. And because of my own experiences of feeling physical ill health because of emotional blockages and emotional and mental ill health, it kind of just all pulled together for me. So I think when we started talking about it, I was really intrigued about experiencing it. And then you said the training was coming up. So I'm very much one of those people, if I'm going to experience it, I might as well learn it myself to do for other people. So that's where I went with it.
I love your accent, by the way. I can see I listen to you all day long. So how would you, because obviously you have many modalities in your world. You've got hypnotherapy, reflexology, Reiki, psychology. I'm sure there's a lot more that you do. How do you bring silent counselling into your practice?
So I think for me, silent counselling kind of ties together those mental and, like I said, the mental and physical blocks. So it brings in for me that understanding, that rapid understanding of what's there, what's stuck. It gives me that ability to help the clients identify that. When you can peel back the layers through the coaching and through the therapy and through the talking, which I think is super important to hold that space for somebody. But then when you identify the block, you can eradicate it using the silent counselling. You can eradicate it out. You can use it to make way to find something else that's behind that, which is what I've experienced myself, that you get rid of one thing and there's something else chasing like right up behind it. Okay, well, let's deal with that then. And it's just a case of, for me, silent counselling just fits right there with, once you peel back those layers, what do we do? Oh, this is what we do. This is where we can go with it, and this is how we can approach it and deal with it and make space for what else is coming.
I love that. And I remember you had a major breakthrough, didn't you? Because just so people know, when I first started training silent counselling, I did it over 2 days, and then I decided I could do it whenever I want, basically. It's only 12 hours, but I could do it over 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, however. And we did it in 2 days, didn't we? I'm sure we did it in 2 days.
Yes. It was two whole days, yeah. Yeah.
So what did you expect that breakthrough?
Not at all. So like my breakthrough came around grief that I've held on to for a long, long time. So it stems back to my late teens and early 20s. even though I still say I'm 21. And I was, I lived in such a fear of grief for such a long time, so that anticipatory grief that we knew it was coming with a serious and chronic illness with a loved one, and then eventually when that grief came, and it was a big grief, it was an important grief, it was a close member of the family, a role model, and it came at such an impressionable point in my life that it sent me off on the pathway that it sent me off on. And that breakthrough came of really, I thought I'd dealt with it. You feel like you deal with grief, you're told that grief's not linear, it's not ending, time will help, and what I've actually done over the years is bury that so deep, and then everything else that's come and hit along the way, as it does in life, is just built and built and built on top of that. And by not releasing everything that was around that grief to start with, just made the way I dealt with everything else on top of that unhealthy, and just kind of like not the best way to deal with things. You know, we everything that you've been through and everything. So yeah, it was releasing that from that session. It was so surprising because I wasn't expecting it. I didn't expect that to come up. I thought that's what I dealt with that. I thought what was going to come up was something more current, something more kind of prominent in that moment, but it wasn't.
And that's what I always say. You think you know what the problem is, but in fact, it's something a lot deeper. It's always deeper. It's always in the unconscious. And you just literally transform, because I'm going to be honest here, guys. When I first held that session, we had 3 people. One fell asleep. I decided it wasn't the right time. So there was 3 of us left. And what we do is we go into breakout rooms and we go and practice. Now, Lisa, I let her practice on me. How did you feel doing that? Obviously, because I've never done it with anyone else, because that showed me I've got to make sure that I embody it myself, because I'm great at teaching and I'm great at doing it on myself, but I wasn't doing it enough. And I think in that moment, I really wanted someone to just shift this energy for me. How did you feel being a practitioner in that moment? Because that was a wonderful experience for you, wasn't it?
It was a great experience, and it was like so nerve-wracking. But then the way that you taught and that connection we have, because I really liked small intimate trainings. I really liked the fact that it was only a small number of us, and I felt so at ease with you and the way that you delivered the training. So the knowledge was there, but then the practical application came. So obviously it was kind of like, oh my gosh, she's she knows it all and she's teaching it, and now I've got to do it. And so yeah, that nerve was there. But when you start to see it in action, when you start to see the client responding to the silent counselling, it just carries you on, it carries you forward, and it kind of like you just surrendering to trusting your intuition during the process as the practitioner for the client. That's something else. And then seeing, because you had a bit of a release, didn't you, during that exchange. And to start with, I was a bit like, oh, hang on. I was like, okay, just hold it. And we went through it together, and yeah, it was powerful. It was really, really powerful. But seeing it happen before your eyes, and yeah, it was brilliant. It was really eye-opening.
I'm so grateful for you, because I'm going to be honest, guys, I actually had to cry. So I was releasing. I was like blubbering away because I needed to get it out. And it was phenomenal how you held that space for me. And it's nice because it's not where I know it all and this is all my students. It's, oh, come on, let's do it together. Come on. And I love that you did that for me. So thank you again for that. I'm so honoured. So how has silent counselling changed your life?
It's just given me something to hold my own space. So like you say, like stuff comes up, stuff gets moved, stuff flows, things happen. And I think this year has been no easier than any other. It's been a fairly, we're in May, it's been a fairly tough year. I've had physical ill health, I've had members of the family with troubles, I've had household troubles, and those things never stop. But I think having something, a tool like silent counselling, has just been able to give me, you know how you, as a mom, you might say, right, I just need 10 seconds to go and breathe. Yeah. Get away from the main. Yeah, it's
yourself in the bathroom. Mum, can I come in? No, piss off. I'm having a shower.
It's giving yourself that space and then some. So just to be able, so I if I come off to a bedroom or to the bathroom, like say, I can hear my daughter and she goes, "You doing that breathing thing, Mum?" And I'm like, yeah. And she kind of knows. She's all right. I'll see you in a bit.
Oh,
And she just goes and she leaves me alone to just kind of do it. But the strength that it's given me, the sort of the mental capacity, the comfort, and the coping strategies, you know, yeah, if something comes up, where am I feeling it? How am I going to get rid of it? Let's just breathe out. It doesn't get rid of the problem. It just given me that time and that space because I don't have hours in that compressed moment to release it, to deal with it, to feel it, to cope with it. So it's just kind of given me that all around breath of fresh air.
It is that's exactly what it is. It's not so much like a coping mechanism. It's like the strength to handle the shit on your doorstep.
Yeah,
because you're gonna face challenges. It happens, and sometimes you can just lose it. Like you just cry, or you just get so stressed out. Like I remember being a mum and I just can't cope anymore. My kids are driving me crazy. And I used to be an emotional wreck. I thought, oh my God, if I had silent counselling back then, I would have been the calmest mum in the world. Yeah. I bloody needed it as well when they were little. But I love how it supported you, Lisa. Because I know there's been a lot of tough challenges you've been facing. But you know what? Look at you now. How do you feel now in yourself?
Fine. Yeah, good. Fine. All right. I'm fine. Like, whatever. Yeah, I think like it doesn't stop the anger. But I used to be very, very reactive and very kind of explosive. I used to have a very explosive temper because I didn't have the control that I thought I needed and wanted. And it's really just helped me enlighten me that you don't have to have control of everything. There are things that you can't control. There are things that you're never going to be able to control. But by being explosive and being reactive and sitting in the tragedy and the things that are going on, it's not helping anyone because it makes me feel like rubbish. Then I explode and it makes them feel like rubbish. And then them feeling like rubbish makes me feel like rubbish. So just get into that perpetual cycle of rubbishness. And
yeah, that's how I was. Exactly the same. Yeah. We sound so alike, it's insane. Right, so what would you say to anyone who has no idea what silent counselling is and possibly want to know more? What would you say?
Find out more about it.
Simple as.
Simple as.
That's the end of that session, darling. Thank you very much for that, Lisa. If you have loved this interview, I mean, don't get me wrong, Lisa is absolutely amazing. Add her as a friend. She's so phenomenal. She specialises in so many different things. She's just amazing and she's so good at holding space for you. Then connect with her. She is brilliant. And if you would like to know more about silent counselling, then send me a message, or if you want to speak to Lisa or me, we are all here together to collectively heal the world. So thank you very much for that, Lisa. I love you loads. Thank you for watching, guys.